So I get asked this question often, can I pour over countertops that already have epoxy? The answer is absolutely you can, with a few simple steps. This actual countertop we poured in our last live. If you want to check that out, the link will be in the description of this video. All I'm going to have to do to be able to re-pour is sand with 220, clean, and re-pour. That's it. Now, if I re-pour in a color that's similar to this finish right now, there's no need for me to paint another coat of undercoat. I can go directly over the epoxy. Now, let's say I want to go a complete different design, different color. At that point, I would want to sand, clean, and go ahead and repaint my substrate to whatever color I want that base color to be. Allow that to dry, then proceed as usual. All right, to sand the surface, I'm going to be using 220 sandpaper with my orbital sander. You can do it by hand, no problem. Now your edges, this happens to be a rock edge. There's no way that I would be able to use an orbital sander, so I'm going to be using these Scotch-Brite pads and very lightly going over that edge. All I'm trying to do is remove the shine of the edge. You would do this the same way if you have a smooth edge. So after everything's sanded, I'll hit it with some isopropyl alcohol, clean it really well, and be ready to move to the next step. So if you're prepping a surface that does not have the epoxy already poured, then what you'll need to do is look at that substrate and decide what sort of prep do I need to do. If it's a laminate, if it's a natural stone like a granite or a marble, or any slick, non-porous surface, you're gonna wanna really sand it well to create a tooth. You'll come back with our bonding primer, 2 coats, let it dry really well to where you cannot scratch that off. Then you're gonna go to your undercoat paint. At that point, you'll be able to pour your first coat of epoxy. If you're going over MDF or say plywood, what you'll wanna do, sand, get rid of any imperfections, and go straight over it with the undercoat. An undercoat could be our Stone Coat countertop undercoat, or it can be a latex paint. Just allow it to dry sufficiently before you go to your next step, which is pouring the epoxy. So the question is, why do I want to re-pour over existing epoxy? There's many reasons. One, you could be like us and use your sample boards over and over and over again. This piece is actually, this is our 3rd time to pour on this particular piece. Many of you also do sample boards, smaller sample boards over and over again. You're able to really utilize your material and not throw any of your sample boards away. So for countertops that have epoxy, you can just instantly redo your countertops. Unlike granite, after 5 or 10 years, if I want to give my kitchen a facelift, I can sand and re-pour the countertops as they sit. No matter what the reason is you want to re-pour over an existing epoxy surface, it is super easy. All right guys, so I hope this video answered a few of your questions and showed you how easy it is to go over existing countertops. We're actually fixing to go over this countertop next. If you'd like to see that full tutorial, check out the link in this video.